Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome to episode 3 of the Learning to Hunt series here at Maneuver Outdoors. This is going to be focusing primarily on two main topics. The first one is going to be regulations and licenses, and the second one is going to be finding land where we can actually hunt at. So let's go ahead, jump right into this thing. Alright, so first thing, hunting licenses. Now, getting a license isn't that hard. There are some steps that you have to take no matter what if you've never gotten a hunting license before. Primarily, that's going to be some sort of hunter safety education course. Now, if you are a military member, or there's a couple other groups that if you are part of, like police, where you had formal weapons training, and a lot of states will automatically waive you required to have a hunter safety course because you have that weapon safety course from your job already provided to you. But I'd still recommend you going and getting that hunter safety course taken, because there's just a lot of good information that comes through when you take those courses, and it will greatly benefit you in the long run of understanding basically like a lot of those holds and carries of different weapon systems. They will be the subject matter experts there of, what are the regulations of your home state. So if you got questions, you'll have that direct point of contact with those instructors of that hunter safety course. The other thing is that you're going to meet first-time hunters inside that class as well, and you're going to be able to link up with those people and then have that peer-to-peer relationship of learning to hunt together. Now, to find hunter safety courses or hunting licenses or anything like that, simplest way to do it, just go into Google, and whatever your home state is, Google that state, hunting licenses, or getting hunting licenses after it. It's going to take you to probably one of the first links is going to be your government agency course. So let's go ahead. I'm from Virginia, so it's just going to be VA hunting licenses. Came up right on the search. I'm just going to hit that. So boom, here I am on the website. I've got the hunting licenses and fees, going through qualifications about whether I'm a resident or a non-resident, and that will change the price. So if you're hunting out of state, expect to pay more money. Different types of, basically anything that I need to do to understand what I need to start with hunting, this is where I can start out at. Now, let's check out some regulations that they got on here, because these government websites are going to give you the most up-to-date regulations for your home state. I went into hunting real quick. Let's scroll down, and they've got everything we need. So where to hunt, getting started hunting, these are things, just tools that you'll have be able to help you out. And then look right here, we got hunting season and regulations. We'll cut on that. Hunter education by the state, so we can click on that. We can immediately find hunter education. Let's go right there first before we come back to the regulations. So right here, mandatory for Virginia is going to be 12 to 15-year-olds and first-time hunters in 1988. Has been mandatory since that time. Boom, 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 and I'll be able to find those online courses right here, anything that I need to do. So I might not have to go to a classroom, I can take everything online. But everything that I need to do, I can be applying it and go through hunter education through this website right here. So let's go ahead, let's go back and look at those regulations and just get some stuff. So I want to know when deer season starts, so that's what we'll find. So I just went in hunting and trapping regulations, and I'm just going to poke around until I find what I'm trying. So, general hunting regulations. Seasons right there. Alright, so seasons, big game, deer. Click on that. Pops up, and then I can go down to it. So this has got the bag limits. So I can only shoot 2 deer a day and 6 in a license years, which is pretty decent in comparison to a lot of states. You can shoot a lot of deer in Virginia, and that's because they're really trying to get rid of them. 3 can be antlered, and 3 must be antlerless, so does and bucks. Now this is the other thing where I can see some exceptions. So a pretty wild exception for the Virginia area is in most cities and counties where they do the urban archery, the daily bag limit for deer is unlimited, and that's just because they're being overrun with deer in those areas, and people really need to start managing those deer. However, in the entire year, I can still only take 3 antlered deer. Here's another thing, even though in most places I have a 2-day bag limit, if I'm on a national forest, department owned land, basically anything managed east of the Blue Ridge, I can only take 1 deer a day. And so I can just go through this whole thing and I can find everything that I need to understand where it is. So youth and apprentice deer hunting starting on September 25th and 6th, that weekend. Early archery starts October 2nd. This image right here, firearm season is split up by counties in this. So it's not like my home state of Vermont, where the entire state, the season is exactly the same. Virginia's got it split up by different regions and different areas, so you got to be able to decipher this and read it, and that just comes from poking around on this website and seeing what it actually reads. Now, like I said, just getting the license and getting the hunter education is actually a lot easier than you may originally think. I didn't really spend a lot of time. First Google click that I came on brought me exactly to the site that I need. It was my government site, the .gov site for Virginia Department of Wildlife Resources, and it had a very easy access of where I can find my licenses, what I need required to get them in this state, and what's going to qualify me to be able to buy whether a resident or a non-resident hunting license, and that's going to allow me to set myself up so I can actually start eating. So actually getting your license and registering is extremely easy, and they offer packages and different types of varying levels of licenses. So if you just want to hunt small game, if you just want to fish, if you want to hunt deer, bear, anything like that, you can tailor it so you're only paying for what you intend to use. So you're not buying like this massive, $800 deer license or $800 license that just has 90% of things that you're never going to use again. You can buy specifically what you want. Not every state is going to do that, but most states have some sort of organization to help them. And they really try to make this foolproof, because getting licenses, getting regulations, and that contribution of hunters is where they get a lot of their money from for the DWR. Now, most states are going to have some sort of website like Virginia has right here, and I can buy the licenses, proof, I can just do everything that I need to do on the government website for my home state. Now, Virginia also has an app. It's called the Go Outdoors app. A lot of states are getting in on this, where everything that you have on this website is provided to you in an app as well. So it's really easy to acquire those licenses, and then you have those regulations just right there in your pockets. All right, let's talk about how we're gonna actually locate places to hunt. Like, where can we go out into the actual woods and start deer hunting? Now, there's two main subjects of that, or two types of land that you can really hunt in that. What that's going to be is it's going to be private land, and it's going to be public land. Now, private land is anything that is owned by a private citizen. Anything that your parents own, your neighbors own, the people down the street, the farmer down the road, that's all private land. So to be able to hunt that, you need permission from that landowner to actually hunt it. Now, this can be as easy as just calling up a friend with land and asking them permission. Hey, can I go onto your land and hunt? And they just say yeah, and that's the entire end of it. And it can be as complicated as going up to a stranger's door, knocking on their door, and asking them permission with a signed permission slip, whether you can create it and they have, documents that you can make online or ones that you can download that basically just states that you have written permission from that owner to hunt that land. A lot of people don't like to, go up to a stranger's door and ask permission, because whether they don't like taking no, they have anxiety about it. All of it's totally understandable. But if you have that opportunity to be able to talk to somebody, get permission from them, if you don't know them that well, or if you feel nervous about getting called out for it, having that written permission form can come in handy. If somebody starts claiming that you are there legally, or if you're not allowed there, you have that backup stating that you were actually there. I have never had to do a permission slip, because any private land that I've hunted on has been friends and family that I've just been able to just roll in and start hunting without having to worry about that. Now, the other side of the coin is going to be that public land. Now, public land is land set aside by the government for the use of the private citizen, whether it's national forests, parks, recreational areas, wildlife management units, those things. There's a whole plethora of different types of how they're actually worked and run. So a national park, they're going to really maintain those things, whereas a wildlife management area, they will maintain it, but not the same way. You are able to access those things and do outdoor activities inside them, because they're intended for that use. It's not always just going to, just a campsite that's everybody goes to and is totally overrun with human things. There are large tracts of land in most states that you're able to access that are just wilderness. Now, public land can be super easy to find and access if you know the right places to look. Now, the first place that you can start, same website that you got your license from. So we go back into, with here, we're going to use Virginia's DWR website. So we're just going in here, we'll go into the hunting section, and we'll go to that big block right here. Hey, where can we actually hunt? They got this hunt map, WMAs, wildlife management areas, other public lands. So let's just start out with the hunt map and take a look. Looking at this right now, we can just see anything that's highlighted here is an area that I'm going to be able to access one way, shape, or form in order to be able to hunt. So you can see there's a lot of areas that I can actually hunt in without having to own land. Zoom into the areas that I live. So I live up by Quantico in this area, and here we are right here. So we've got Marine Corps Quantico Base right here. We have Fort AP Hill down here. So we're going to focus in on one of these smaller ones. This is the C.F. Phelps Wildlife Management Area. This one's near where I live, so we're just going to focus on this one. Now you can see it actually shows what we're allowed to hunt in these. So deer is a best bet for this area. Some of these you're not actually allowed to. So if we shoot over to the Crow's Nest over here by the Potomac, the only thing you're allowed to hunt on the Crow's Nest is waterfowl. You're not allowed to do any sort of land animal hunting over there just due to the location of where it's at. So know that we crossed that one off of our list right there, but we have to now look at the C.F. Phelps. Now I can use this website to find specific regulations for that weapon or for that management area. So when I was reading through that thing, it also stated that on C.F. Phelps I can only take 1 deer per day, unlike the standard regulation into 2 deer per day. Now this doesn't mean that I'm only restricted to 1 deer if I shoot it on C.F. Phelps. I can shoot a deer in the morning on C.F. Phelps and go to a different public land somewhere else and shoot another deer there, but I can't take 2 per day from that specific area. So that's what this website's able to tell me. So this episode was really short and simple, just showing you basic access. If you were to ask me like, how am I going to get licenses? How am I going to actually take that first step into starting to hunt? This is where I'm going to tell you to go. Primarily, it's going to be that government website for your state, because like I said, they're going to have all the resources that you need set up on that website in order to get you access to allow you to hunt. After you have that hunting license set up, you can use that same website to find public land or private land to be able to actually find locations where you can go out and start to hunt. You can start knocking on doors, asking permission, using those written slips if you want, or if you just know people, you can just get that verbal confirmation from them. After you find all that stuff, what you can also do, go into the App Store, find one of the hunting apps or just like a map app that allows you to draw pins and anything, so you can help yourself keeping track of what you're doing while you're out there. Or if you're an old school person, you just get access to a bunch of maps. Google is a powerful tool to be able to find all this stuff, so you can start battle tracking everything that you're doing while you're going out to those areas. Next episode, we're going to zoom in on a couple of these locations, and we're going to break down where, once we have access to the land, where are we going to actually go and look and try and find for deer, and what are we looking for while we're out there trying to find deer. Guys, if you like this episode, hit a like, subscribe, throw a comment down in the comment section letting me know, what do you think I should be doing? What should I add to this? Do you have questions? What did I not cover properly? And then additionally, share this content, let other people know what I'm doing so they can actually come and see what's going on, and maybe they can learn something through this channel. See you guys on the next one.